update from London. Now, how much is a packet of pencils worth? $5, perhaps $7? How about $820,000? Because that's the estimated damage done to an exhibition here in London by a young street artist. His name is Cartrain, that's what he calls himself, and in July this year he walked into London's Tate Britain gallery and picked up some pencils that were forming part of a sculpture belonging to the world-famous artist Damien Hirst. It's a spat that dates back to last year when Cartrain was forced to surrender his own art because an image that he'd used of Hirst's famous jewel-encrusted skull infringed copyright. So I spoke to Cartrain and I asked him first to describe his original collage.
Well, it's basically his diamond-encrusted skull, which I saw in a magazine and thought it would be really funny if I took it and altered it and played around with it a bit.
Why?
I wasn't too sure. I just sort of wanted to make some artwork because I was going out every day on the sort of streets, like making loads of collages and putting them out in the public, and I thought his diamond skull was quite a nice image, so...
So you weren't trying to make fun of the fact that here was somebody earning a huge amount of money from something that was just glitzy,
yeah,
extremely vulgar, and it wasn't that. It was you just thought you'd emulate it.
Back in November, I put the artworks for sale on the internet, where I was charging £65 a piece. Damien Hirst got to find out about this, so he got onto his legal team, who sent very threatening letters to myself and my gallery, demanding that I take the artworks off the internet and that I hand over any profits made to them. I knew sort of my gallery and my dad and myself couldn't afford the legal fees to take this to court, so I decided it would be best to comply with them. So I handed over the artwork.
So I've got this image, Cartrain, of you, and you are a young man. How old are you? 17?
Yeah, 17.
You're from the East End of London,
yeah.
And there's you on one side of the table, and there's the legal team from Damien Hirst Enterprises on the other. How did you feel about that?
It was quite all right at the time.
You didn't feel a bit intimidated?
No, not really.
Tell us about the graffiti that you did before all of this blew up.
Very similar to the collage I make. I put them in cardboard frames and then sort of stencil my name onto the cardboard frames and glue them on old buildings. Originally, I was doing very similar things to Banksy.
Did you get any positive reaction from people? Did they see your artwork? Anybody try and track you down like they've tried to track down Banksy?
Oh, no, not really. At the start, there was a bit, but then they just sort of called me a Banksy imitator, so I thought it would be best to stop that style and try and find my own style.
You did the collage with the Damien Hirst, the jewel-encrusted head. You got into trouble with his legal team. So then what?
I thought, forget about it, so I just didn't think much of it. And then I saw in the newspaper it was advertised for the Chapman brothers. They had a piece on at the Tate Britain. So I went to the Tate Britain, and as I was making my way to the Chapman brothers exhibit, I strolled into pharmacy, and it was just sort of a golden opportunity. So I saw the pencils, just picked them up, put them in my pocket, went in to see the Chapman brothers exhibition and walked out.
And pharmacy, that is Damien Hirst's exhibit at the Tate. And you thought, OK, I'll get my own back.
Yeah.
What was it that you stole?
The pack of pencils. Faber-Castell Mongol 406 series.
Had Damien Hirst made anything of them?
No, certainly not. But
you mean they just were there?
They were just sitting there on the
packet
desk.
of pencils, bought from a shop?
Yeah.
Then what?
I posted on the internet advertising that I had the pencils, and I made it very clear that I had them and that I'd like my artwork back or a letter of acknowledgement from him. So then after that I just sort of sat back and waited for Hirst to knock on my door, or the police.
And that's what happened?
Yeah.
And the police now, you went along to see the police recently, didn't you?
Yeah.
What did they say?
They arrested me by appointment and told me to arrange to meet them, so I arranged to meet them. Went down there, they arrested me for £500,000 worth of theft. And
hang on, it's a packet of pencils?
Yes, this packet of pencils was valued at £500,000.
OK, well, there you go, it's art, what do I know? And the police, do they still want to pursue the case?
The police don't want to pursue the case, but I'm told the Crown Prosecution Service do. And the police are trying to sort of... They don't want it going to court because it looks embarrassing over a pack of pencils worth £500,000, but the Crown Prosecution Service have said it's a £500,000 theft. We've got to take it to court.
Have you heard from Damien Hirst or his representatives?
No, not since November.
Well, I suppose the possibility is that you could go to jail for quite a long time if you've stolen £500,000 worth of stuff. What about $750,000 worth of pencils?
Yeah, well, possibly, but at the end of the day, it sort of comes down to, although they were valued at £500,000, the intention of taking them was not to sell them on or make profit. It was to get his attention and to see if I could try and get my artwork back that he took off me in November.
Now, you're an artist, I'm a journalist, so I can say this. What this does for me, and I suspect a lot of other people, is just makes art look stupid.
Yeah, in a way.
Because it's a pack of pencils.
Well, it makes Hirst look more stupid, don't it?
That's the young street artist Cartrain. Well, we did try to get in touch with Damien Hirst. We haven't heard anything back from his representatives. We asked the police to say more. They simply confirmed that a young man and a 49-year-old man, we assume that to be Cartrain's father, were arrested for possession of criminal property. The pencils, by the way, are safely back with the police, safe and unharmed. We also asked the Tate Britain Gallery to comment on how a pack of pencils could be valued at £500,000. I said 750. Actually, the proper calculation is $820,000. And all we got was that we can't put anybody out for the programme. We can confirm that on the 4th of July, a member of the public removed a box of pencils from the desk in Damien Hirst's installation pharmacy on display at the Tate Britain, currently under investigation by the police. And we asked the prosecutors for comment too. They said they would get back to us. So we will follow that story with interest. You can comment on it, certainly. You can go to our Facebook page and I'll put up a question about it, or at least just put up some of the story for you and perhaps a link. And meanwhile, you can send us an email as well, worldhaveyouSay@bbc.com. This is World Update from London.